Okay, it's Friday and we got to do a little housekeeping. We're going to do a covered call, something I do quite often to try to produce monthly income. Yesterday, we did a cash secure put, which paid off very well, and the whole thing worked out real good, even though I made a slight mistake. I thought Intel earnings were May the 5th. No, AMD earnings is May the 5th. Intel was yesterday after the bell. So I sold the cash secure put before the bell, and then Intel reported their earnings and they just blew it out of the water and the stock just went sky high. It went from like $67, if you recall, is what we had it at. And then the stock went up $20 to $87 a share. Right now, it's trading around 20, around $80 a share, which is still a really great move on the stock because this stock had been trading at $18 a share back in August. So, long story short, because they had such a move, and I had a cash secure put at $67, and it shot up. Basically, that cash secure put contract got so cheap that I could get out of it and just, not even have to worry about having to buy the shares. I got out of it for about $80. So that puts my net profit on that cash secure put yesterday around $1,400. And that's good. So we did that with a cash secure put. Now, I had 4 contracts, which is 400 shares, just to refresh from the video from yesterday. So think about this. If you had just 100 shares, that you would have to have collateral in the brokerage account a little over $6,000. So you have the $6,000 over here. You could have made not quite $400 between now and May the 1st. Based on that $6,000, you could have made a payday close to $400 between now and May the 1st. Sure, the more shares you got, the bigger the payday. You're going to see that here in just a few minutes when I do a covered call. But just having $6,000 in collateral in the brokerage account, you could have bought one contract with 100 shares and had a payday, close to $400 between now and May the 1st. And that's good little monthly income there. We still may do a cover put. Now, AMD is going to report earnings May the 5th. I thought it was Intel, but it's AMD, another chip company, and they're expected to do a good earning. But before we do all that, I want to do a covered call. This is where you have people who could buy your stock, and you would be obligated to sell your stock that you already own. But they're going to pay you the juice up front for that right. So let's take a look at my NVIDIA stock here. So NVIDIA is trading at 207, almost 208 a share. It doesn't have any earnings coming up, but it has been on the move. And I would want to do a covered call on it and see if I can't make a little monthly income. I do have quite a few shares of NVIDIA, so we That's where you can really get yourself a good payday. It is at $207 a share. So if we go to the option chain like we did yesterday, and instead of looking at puts, we're going to look at calls. We'll go to that May the 1st again, right here. And this is, again, if you're going to sell a covered call, that means you have at least that number of shares already in your brokerage account. In other words, you got it covered. And it also means somebody, if you're going to sell it, somebody's going to buy it. And they're going to maybe want to take advantage of the stock moving up to, say, it's at 208 now. It could move up to 215. And so I may say, well, I'll sell my shares at 210, and I'll give you the right to buy it between now and May the 1st for 210 for this amount of money. So let's look at this. So one contract is 100 shares. It's trading at 207, 208, we'll call it. And let's go down and find our 208 marker. So here's 207 right here. So you see that 207. There's May the 1st. One contract right here will pay you about $500 in juice between now and May the 1st. That's $500. There is a good chance that those shares, if you sell this covered calls, those shares are most likely to get taken by whoever buys them, because you kind of think naturally the stock between now and May the 1st, it could go to 212. And you're going to agree to sell it for 210. So he's going to make a profit of $2 a share, $2 a share here, because I agreed to sell it for 210. But my situation with NVIDIA is a little bit unique. I don't want to lose my NVIDIA shares. They are my powerhouse. They are my juice maker. And NVIDIA has had a tremendous day today. It has rallied. It has come back real strong. One of probably the biggest day of the year today with NVIDIA. And that's probably because Intel had a good earnings report, and it brought up all these chip companies. AMD is having a good day. NVIDIA, Intel. Taiwan Semiconductors, another company, they're having a good day. So I don't want to give up my NVIDIA shares. So I want to make sure my calls are what we call way out of the money. This gray part is in the money. And to be way out of the money, you're in the black part. So in other words, between now and May the 1st, let's look at this. Do I think NVIDIA could go to 220 between now and May the 1st? No, I don't. There's no really, I mean, AMD is going to report May the 5th. So we can do this call before AMD's earnings report and, probably make a pretty good paycheck. Now, I'm going to look at 220 here because I want to play it safe. And 220 will pay me about 91 cents a share, not quite $1. And it's possible I could even make a little more money and go to 217 here. And that would pay me over $1 a share. Trying to talk with chewing gum in my mouth. Okay, so I'm going to look at $1.34 a share. And I would sell my shares, or be willing to sell my shares, if they went to 217. Right now, my shares are at 207. That would be a $10 move. And those days just those days just don't come along too often. So I'm debating either that. I tell you what, we're going to play it safe. I can see the delta over here is at 16. If I get up around 217, this increases the chance. If you'll look over here, the chance of this stock being sold and me losing my shares. I don't want to lose my shares, but I do want to make money on those shares. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to this 220, and it's around 90 cents a share. Now, if I sell a covered call on just one contract, I'll show you what one contract will make on that. So here we go. We're going to see what one contract will pay me $87.34 between now and May the 1st. Not a lot of money. NVIDIA's a little higher than Intel as far as the price, but still that's $87, and that's not bad. But what if you could go in here? Remember what I told you? The increments is for contracts and options is $100. I mean, one contract equals 100 shares. 100 shares. 100 shares. 100 shares. 2 contracts, 200 shares. 3 contracts, 300 shares. So on. 10 contracts, 1,000 shares. I got 1,000 shares I'm going to put up. 1,000 shares that I'm going to sell or put up for sale. Let's see what that would pay me. So we got sale, covered call. In other words, I can cover this deal because I got at least 1,000 shares. So let's see what kind of payday between now and May the 1st I can get on this call. Now, remember, for me to sell it, there's going to be somebody who wants to buy it, and there's plenty of people out there who will buy calls on NVIDIA. Now, you really got to understand what is a call, what is a put. I'm selling these options. I'm not buying them. I'm selling. I'm selling this call option to somebody who might want to buy NVIDIA at 220, which is not going to be likely. Now, if the stock went to 230 between now and May the 1st, yeah, it's likely somebody's going to come in and say, hey, I'm going to buy a Bill share for 220, and I can make $10 a share just like that. But between now and May the 1st, it's not very likely that this stock is going to hit $220 a share. I wish it would, but it's just not going to happen probably. But let's see what kind of payday 10 contracts, 1,000 shares will be. Now we're talking about a little bit more money. Not quite $1,000, $900. So this is a payday that I like, $900. I had a payday yesterday of $1,400. I got a payday today. This money, this $900, is going to go straight, once I hit send, it's going to go straight into my cash box on my brokerage account, and you'll see it. It's instant. It goes right in there. You'll hear a little, once I hit click send, you hear a little ding, ding, ding. I don't know if it's cash register or what. Let's see what it sounds like. We're going to go ahead and sell 1,000 shares, which is 10 contracts of NVIDIA between now and May. Let's hit it. Let's hear it. Bing, bing. There you go. So we did that here, down here at 220 between now and May the 1st. I just don't think the stock is going to hit 220. I'm going to make close to $1,000, and it's a happy day. So we got about an hour before the market closes here on this Friday afternoon. We've had 2 good days. I still got some things we could look at. AMD, they have earnings coming up May the 5th. I'm sure on this now. And they have options. So if I did a cash secure put on AMD, I believe I'd want to do it before they do their earnings, May the 1st. Let's see if there's anything closer. May the 8th. So May the 1st would be probably the best date for me. Now, AMD is trading at $346 a share. So that's getting on up there. That's not no $80 stock like Intel. 100 shares on that is almost $35,000 worth of money. So let's see what 100 shares would do. Wouldn't mind owning AMD, so let's go down. We got to go way down here till we get this black area where it's out of the money. But we're not going to do a call. Well, I mean, I could buy it, but I think we're going to do a put. Now, what we're going to do here, we're going to be in a position to buy this if we have to. Again, just like we did yesterday, if this stock takes a hit or starts going down, I'm the insurance man. I'm going to do a cash secure put. In other words, that's if this man that buys this put here in a few minutes, if he needs that insurance, he can say, Bill's going to have to buy my shares because this stock is falling. So let's just see what we could do on this. So AMD is at 346. Let's go down here and find somewhere close to 346. So it's right in here. 345. Okay. 347. So what I'm going to be looking at is 100 shares. It's about all I'm going to be able to swing because, like I said, you're looking at over $300 a share. 100 shares is going to be close to 35,000. But I'm looking for juice. I really don't remember. This is not really about the stock going up or down too much. I want that instant payday today. I want to be paid today. And that's what this is all about, is getting that juice. If the stock goes up, great. If it goes down, okay. But we want that upfront juice, that money. So let's say we're going to give this man some protection if that stock would fall between now and May the 1st to 335. Well, the earnings don't come out till May the 5th, so there's really, I don't know if there's any news unless something really happens with this war that would tank the stock market. I don't see anything driving down these stocks. Again, I think most investors and traders have just ignored what's happening with the war, because it's one thing one day and another thing the other day. I think they finally found out the market is kind of being controlled by, the White House. So they're not paying much attention to what's coming out of the White House. So we can feel pretty sure that this price is going to hold between now and earnings. So instead of looking at 335, let's go down here and look at 342 and look. 342 is paying $10.85, close to $11 a share on each share that you buy. or sale. Remember, this is 100 shares, so you're talking about $1,100 payday on this cash secure put. Now, if the stock falls to 342, I would have to buy it, or either uh, uh, buy the contract out and just maybe take a hit, but you don't want to do that. I just don't see anything that could cause this stock to tank between now and May the 1st, because the earnings is May the 5th. So if it's bad news on earnings, we're going to be through with this contract anyway. So I'd like to make, there you go. It's going to be, it's already moved up to, let's take a look here at what kind of payday this could be. Single, yeah. We're going to sell a put for 100 shares, which is one contract. I think we can do that. Okay, that would give us a payday today of $1,104. Yeah, we could handle that. Let's do that. That'd be a good move between now and May the 1st with AMD, Advanced Micro Devices, another chip company. Let's do it. You're going to hear the cash register ring. That $1,100 is going to go into my bank account there with Charles Schwab. Let's move it. There you go. So let's see. Anything else we can do to make money? You need to look around and see if there's anything. Okay. All right. I think there's not much there we can do today on this. So yesterday we made 1,400. Today we made 900 plus 1,100, $3,400 in 2 days. Just doing options. Just doing options, not even trading the stock. Just giving people opportunities and this covered call. And remember, when you say covered call, it means you got it covered because you own at least that many shares. Let's go back to NVIDIA one more time and see if there's anything we can do here with NVIDIA. May the 1st. We do have some positions open in NVIDIA. They are working very well for us right now. So I think that's going to do it there. 2-day total just on options was $3,400. And what we normally do is we'll let this sit over here in our cash vehicle, and once we get a little bit time, we move it over to maybe our bank or somewhere where we can actually put the money to use to pay in bills or whatever. So yesterday we did a cash secure put, and today we did a covered call. And looks like we did pretty good on that. Don't see anything else I could work with right now. Well, technically, I could work with Robinhood on 3 contracts. Let's see what we could do. Robinhood is currently is currently at $84 a share. I have 300 shares, which that would be 3 contracts. See what? Okay. Between now and May the 1st, do I think Robinhood could hit 93, 94? That'd be a $10 move for Robinhood. Let's see what a covered call. I do have the shares. I do have it covered. Let's see what kind of payday I can get out of that right quick before we move on. So we're going to sell 3 contracts, a call right here, and our juice would be $400. Yeah, we'll take that. So we're going to do 3 contracts on Robinhood. There you go. That would bring us to $3,800 for 2 days on options. Okay, that's enough. Appreciate you watching. This is for entertainment, educational only. This is not financial advice or anything like that. Strictly entertainment, educational. And that's it for today here on the island.